In the year of 2011, a study suggested that there are approximately 8.7 million species that run, fly, and swim around planet Earth, and we have only discovered about 1.6 million of them. There's still so much work to be done, and many of these species they're very diverse, have very unique features that make them different from one another, and some of these features are just so unrealistic. You look at these animals and you don't even know if they're real until you do further research on them. So, I'm Landon, and today we will be jumping into a list of 10 strange, mysterious, and creepy animals that are guaranteed to blow your mind. So, what are we waiting for? Let's jump on in. First on this list, we have the Okapi, an ungulate that is native to the rainforests of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. This ungulate can stand at about 5 feet tall, reach about 7 feet in length, and possibly max out at about 800 pounds. It's an herbivore that feeds on leaves, fruits, and twigs. It is mostly brown, has a grayish head, and black and white striped hind limbs that resemble the coloration pattern of the zebra. Many people, when they see the Okapi, they would probably think that its closest relative is the zebra, which would be incorrect, very incorrect. The Okapi is part of the Giraffidae family, so it's exactly what it sounds like. Its closest relative is the giraffe. So, there's a few features that make these animals more similar to each other than to any other animal. So, first of all, okapis have very thick, long tongues that reach about 1 foot long, which these thick tongues for giraffes and okapis help protect them from injuries caused by thorns, which are on trees that they eat the leaves off of. Then, the next feature here are ossicones, which are parts on their heads that are made of cartilage and have skin surrounding the cartilage. Giraffes use these for combat purposes, actually. The okapi is also called the African unicorn due to how very rare it is. It was discovered in the world of Western science in the year of 1901. This species actually is the national symbol of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It is used on many different product labels, and its name is even used in this very popular radio show that's in the country. So it has a very important purpose to the culture of that nation. Unfortunately, due to habitat destruction, it is labeled as an endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Its population is unfortunately decreasing, but conservation efforts are being made to try to bring the species back from the brink. For number 9 on this list, we have the hooded Pitohui of the rainforests of New Guinea. So, there's a bit of context here. In the year of 1989, an ornithologist by the name of Jack Dunbacker found a hooded Pitohui in his net trap. He grabbed the bird and he got scratched by it. And when he touched his lips, it burned pretty bad. So he described it as a J-sized bird with needle-sharp claws and bills. So the hooded Pitohui is actually a type of songbird closely related to the orioles. And there's so much to unpack about these birds. Scientists are still trying to study them in their diet. They believe that they get their toxins that sits in their feathers. They believe they get these toxins from beetles that they eat. The locals also believe that. The locals call these specific types of beetles nani-sani, which describes the feeling that is caused by the toxins of this bird, which the symptoms can include numbness, burning, tingling, and eyes watering. Sounds very painful for sure. These people, you cannot even eat these birds either. they refuse to hunt the birds, but they actually do believe that if you mourn these birds like you would mourn a lost family member, you have to mourn good enough. You could actually eat the bird. Do not try it, please. Don't. For number 8 here, we take things back to the Cretaceous period. We talk about the Albertonectes vanderveldei, which was a species of Elasmosaur that possibly reached about 37 feet with a neck that was about 26 feet at maximum. So the specimen was found with approximately 76 vertebrae, cervical vertebrae to be exact, and a missing skull. It slightly outdoes the Elasmosaurus, which had the highest count of cervical vertebrae, about 71. And the Elasmosaurus, it probably fed on fish, squid, and clams as plesiosaurs did. And as I've talked about before, the animals of the superfamily, Plesiosauroidea, they are often depicted as having rather worm or snake-like necks, but that's not the truth. It's actually suggested that they had rather stiff necks. So we take a look at another Cretaceous reptile here. Meet the Deinocheirus mirificus. So this was an ornithomimosaur that lived approximately 72 to 66 million years ago. Its skeletons were found in the Gobi Desert of Mongolia. The first specimen was found in 1965, but the problem is it was only the arms that were found. 8-foot-long arms with bite marks from a Tarbosaurus. So these creatures, their genus name actually translates to terrible arms. And about 44 years later, more specimens were found in the Gobi Desert. This time there were complete skeletons, and it's estimated that this dinosaur could reach about 33 feet long and weigh over 13,000 pounds. And these skeletons were also found near freshwater environments, so it suggests that this species had a diversity of prey items, from fish to plants to other vertebrates. Also, this species, it had a duck-like snout with no teeth on it. For number 6 on this list, we have the Vietnamese Mossy frog. As its name suggests, it's a frog that's native to Vietnam, and it resembles moss. It's a green frog with very bumpy skin. It lives along rocks of riverbanks and in caves, and they can actually be found at an elevation of possibly up to 3,200 feet high. This is a frog that is active during the night. It eats insects and earthworms. For number 5 here, I introduce to you the Jaekelopterus, the largest known sea scorpion in history. So this genus is said to have existed during the Silurian and Devonian period hundreds of millions of years ago. It's believed that this was an arthropod that would hunt on the seafloor or riverbeds. So this creature was estimated to possibly max out at about 9 feet long. And scientists, despite this being called a sea scorpion, they actually believe that this was a creature that inhabited freshwater habitats. Now we have hit number 4, meet the jungle nymph. This is a stick insect that is native to the rainforests of Asia. It can reach about 6 inches and weigh about 6 pounds. They mimic leaves. The females are larger than the males. The males are smaller with a brown coloration to them, and the females are larger and have a very bright green coloration to them. These insects are actually known to raise their tail and mimic scorpions when they feel threatened. For number 3 here, we take a look at the net casting spiders of Australia, the Dinopidae family. So these spiders are also called ogre face spiders, and they have this tactic where they make a web, then hold it between their 2 front legs, and they catch prey with that. They entangle it. It's not only that, though. They actually do have another step. So they will often sit. They pretty much have a hiding place, and they will defecate on nearby leaves. And when an insect comes near the feces, that's when the spider will suspend itself and ensnare the insect victim and envenomate it and eat it. Number 2, we have the Quinkana, which is another species that lives in Australia. This was a crocodile that actually inhabited the land, had long legs designed for chasing prey and tiring it down. It had a hunting style that was more similar to that of an African wild dog than it is to modern-day crocodiles, actually. The thing is, the modern-day crocodiles have shorter legs, which makes walking and especially running on land typically awkward. But also, the thing is, modern-day crocodiles, they have teeth that are rather designed for just holding their prey shut in their jaws, getting the proper grip on them as they take them into the water to either kill them by drowning them or dismembering them by doing what is called a death roll. But the Quinkana just rather had bladed teeth for tearing through their prey. Imagine if that still existed today, but that era possibly ended about 40,000 years ago for them. Last of all on this list, we drumroll for the Helicoprion. This was a genus of shark-like cartilaginous fish that existed during the Permian period. So the Helicoprion is known for its circular jaw, but that's the only evidence of the Helicoprion that we have. The thing is, cartilaginous fish, as the name suggests for this class, their skeletons are made of cartilage, and when they die and decompose, pretty much the only evidence that can remain of them are their teeth. So scientists found these jaws, but they couldn't really determine what the shape of the animal was, and so this led to so many arguments and debates, and there's lots of reconstructions that have been made, some very interesting looking ones and some very hideous looking ones. I love to imagine, as so do many others, that the Helicoprion had its circular jaw located on its mandible, lower jaw, and they suggest that this genus, they would hunt soft-bodied prey items like squid. So, there we have it. I covered 10 strange, mysterious, and creepy animals. I really hope that your mind was blown. Let me know if I should make another list like this in the future. You can tell me what your favorite animal on the list was and some animals to include on a list like this that I might have missed. Support would be appreciated, most certainly, and hope you enjoyed the video, and have a nice day or night.